Looking for the ultimate stocking stuffers for this holiday season? Look no further than our sponsor, Manscaped. They've got you covered, guys. Manscaped is the only brand dedicated to below the waist grooming and hygiene products. And great news, they just launched across Europe, Canada, and Australia. As you know, Manscaped forever changed the grooming game with the Essential Lawnmower 3.0. This incredible trimmer has skin-safe technology. It's waterproof, cordless, and you can take it in the shower. But don't forget about their other incredible products. Crop Preserver Deodorant, Crop Reviver Toner, Crop Cleanser Body Wash, Crop Mop Wipes, Foot Duster Foot Deodorant, the Weed Whacker, Nose and Ear Hair Trimmer, and Shears 2.0, their luxury 4-piece nail kit. To get all these great gifts, visit manscaped.com/Chael and receive 20% off plus free shipping. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com/Chael. Claressa Shields coming over to the mixed martial arts, signed with the PFL and is getting work in Albuquerque. Coach Wink in the room with John Jones, in the room with Holm. And I caught some training video with her. It was just pad work. It was just the mitts. I thought she looked awesome. I was so impressed with what I saw. Not only the flexibility and the way that her body was moving, but the stance for a Western boxer versus a kickboxer/MMA fighter is different, very different. And until you correct that stance, you cannot use your knees or your kicks. You just won't be in a position to throw them. So even just watching this mitt work that was right around 8 seconds, it was a very quick video. But she was even doing the same side jab followed with a head kick, like a Carlos Condit style technique. I've only seen that move coming from guys from the Jackson Wink gym, just by example. And for them to get their hands on her this fast and be able to put out that kind of mitt work was very impressive. And please don't correct me and be one of those people that go, well, the mitts is a big different from Spartan. Yeah, I understand. I understand all of those things. They're kind of skills in and of themselves. How you look on the mitts does not directly translate to how you're going to do in the ring. How you look in the ring doesn't directly translate to how you're going to do on the mitts. But for what that one aspect is, I was so impressed. I was so impressed how, and I could tell she has an open mind. There's no way you could make the progressions that she has made without having a very open mind and being a very coachable athlete, which I think largely probably comes from her amateur days. I also think the fact that she would put herself in such a trying situation as being in the room every day with Holly Holm, one of the baddest women ever, and this is who you elect to go and spar and work out and train next to, I thought was very impressive. We don't always see that. I'll go back to James Toney. James Toney fights Randy Couture. James Toney, total stud, but he was very scared and unconfident of what he was doing, to the extent that he didn't even want to feel that in the practice room. Not only was he not prepared to take on a Randy Couture in an MMA-style match, he was not even to the point yet where he wanted to prepare to he wasn't ready to get ready. He was not putting himself in an environment where he was going to deal with adversity. I followed that fight. I was part of Randy Couture's training camp for that fight. I don't have the foggiest idea to this day who cornered Tony, what gym he was at, what it was called, who his workout partners were, and I watched it. I watched the videos of him there, but it was one of these situations, and I don't attempt to insult James Toney. I'm sharing with you, it's a very real thing. When you get scared to do something, the last thing that you want to do while you're trying to get a head full of steam is every single day be reminded that you're the nail and everybody else is a hammer and I don't know what I'm doing. It's one of these things, and I thought that for Claressa Shields to even put herself in that environment where she's got to go rounds every day with Holly Holm, an amateur. She's an amateur. She has no background, does not know what she's doing on paper. But to privately put herself in that situation, I just thought, what a winner's mindset. And then I see this video and she's looking fantastic and she's looking powerful. Very, very heavy hands. And all of a sudden her kicks are coming along. Her knees are coming along. She's jumping up off the ground. Things that you can't do unless you've changed your stance, something you would not do with her level of success unless you were prepared to humble yourself and you're a very coachable athlete. I think that the Claressa Shields experiment has major problems, but I don't know that her skills are going to be part of them. And how much do you need to learn? fair question, not a dismissive question, not a condescending question. How much do you need to learn? If you have a sprawl and can keep a fight on your feet, it sounds like you just solved this puzzle. If you have 2 escapes from the 0 submissions, but 2 escapes from the bottom, right? Get to an opposing hip as the side of your underhook, keep your head up and stand up to your feet. If you can do that, you've got a way to go in the world of MMA. If we're going to concede that you're the best striker within MMA. I mean, how much do you actually have to know? But for the Claressa Shields experiment to work, we're going to need some other parts, starting with who's an opponent. And what every promotion does, and I am confident the PFL will make the mistake of doing as well, is to bring in a bum who can fog a mirror and believe that Claressa on her own can sell. That she will bring enough from the boxing world. There is no boxing world, and she does not have a fan base. She's not bringing anybody with her. PFL, you're going to have to start from scratch. Secondly, if you attempt to turn on us, the viewer, who in all fairness is very spoiled, MMA is so competitive and so hard, and it's the best against the best at all times. If you attempt to jinx that system by bringing in somebody that can fog a mirror and nothing else to take on, now you've lost us. So you're not going to get the fan base that you think exists known as boxing fans. That's not true. Non-existent. And if you piss us off, you now have nothing. Oh, and by the way, you're doing it in a division that doesn't exist. 155 pounds was created for Kayla Harrison, but it's still not an in-depth division. Chris Cyborg herself, when she signed with Bellator, said, I'm going to Bellator because Scott Coker has the deepest and best rosters of women's fighters at 145 pounds. Amanda Nunes is having to cover the spread in 2 different weight classes right now just to find herself busy. And now you're taking another weight class that doesn't exist, that didn't exist except for Kayla Harrison, that not one of you that maybe don't even like what I'm saying right now could produce one name for me. And by the way, you don't have to produce 1. You're going to have to produce 25 if you're going to have a meaningful division. So we first have to discuss who is it that she's going to go in and beat. And this entire experiment that we've seen done a million times by a million promoters of bringing a star and put them against a bum and build them doesn't work, and it has never worked. That is a boxing business model. And once every 4 years, there's somebody that you can draw from that fought the guy at the local bar and got a big, beautiful record next to his name, and now he gets to go fall down on pay-per-view. So I do wonder what they plan to do with Claressa. Even if they want to give her a stud right out of the gate, that stud does not exist. The only person with any level of name recognition at 155 pounds was Kayla Harrison, who has now left 155 pounds. I only bring that for you not to be negative. I want to bring it to you because it appears to me that Claressa's doing her part. Claressa appears, by my eyes, in those number of seconds to really be doing a great job. But it's going to take some more here. And it's going to start with finding an opponent. And if you try to find her a bum as a way of testing her, why would you be carrying her to start with? What is it that she has that you would need to carry? It's not Logan or Jake Paul. This isn't going to be a name recognition situation. This comes from a competitive architecture. She is the Olympic champion, is used to competitiveness. She is not going to shy away. She is not going to back down. So don't think as a built-in mechanism that you need to do her a favor. Bring her a real athlete. Put these real athletes together and see what happens. If this is a one-off and that's only good for one night of business, you're writing the same size check, PFL. It doesn't change. So let's go make a competitive match. Let's see what happens. I apologize. Claressa is doing her part. We're going to need more pieces for this story to come together. And it starts with, who is she going to fight?